out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond that can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Look till we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
What is going on here? Hold on, we are having some technical difficulties here. I don't know why this is. Boom, here we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I forgot to put myself in studio and then something else happened. Well, welcome. Sorry about that. Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl. It is September 24th, 2023, and what a week 4 it was. I'm here to recap these week 4 games. Before I do that, I would like to ask you to like, comment, or subscribe on this channel. If you like any of the content, not just my content, we also have the main R2L show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. We have BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Anything baseball goes through Teddy. And we have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Hey, look, Fantasy Sunday. Get your fantasy news. Check out FFC for your starts, your sits, all your fantasy news. Check out FFC. And yeah, then lastly, as you know, you get your college content with me at CTC, Carl Talking College. So yeah, if you like any of the content on this channel, this network, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Yeah, and we're gonna get right into a week 4. Like I said, what a week it was. We started off with Thursday, Coastal Carolina, Georgia State at Coastal Carolina. Now, Georgia State won this game 30-17. I picked Coastal, so I was wrong there. Now, Georgia State able to get the run game going. Darren Granger looked great. He actually popped off the game with a run on a design pass. He scrambled out, got a run, opened up the offense. Georgia State got whatever they wanted against Coastal Carolina after that, and Coastal Carolina can never get going. They put pressure on Grayson McCall all day. Grayson was able to hit a couple big plays, but for the most part, these receivers were not able to win against these Georgia State DBs. And Georgia State was just shutting down the run. The run game couldn't get going. It's pretty sporadic. Now, Coastal Carolina late in the game did find something with the 2-back shotgun runs. They were able to find something there, but it still wasn't enough. And Georgia State came out with the W. So we're going to go over the game. Georgia State, they go down and score a touchdown on the first drive. Darren Granger gets in with a touchdown run. Then Coastal, after the DPI, punches the ball. Then Georgia State punched the ball, leading to a 30-yard field goal by Coastal Carolina, so it's 7-3. Georgia State responds with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Robert Lewis from Darren Granger. It was set up by defensive pass interference. With 57 seconds left in the second quarter, Coastal Carolina misses a 51-yard field goal, which leads to a 33-yard field goal set up by Marcus Carroll, 30-yard touchdown run. 30-yard run, not a touchdown run. 30-yard run. Coastal Carolina couldn't get off the field on third down in the first half. Georgia State was 7 for 10 on third downs. Coastal Carolina, like I said, couldn't get anything going on offense. Coastal Carolina first drive in the second half leads to a 27-yard touchdown pass to Jamison Tucker. So Coastal Carolina finally gets a touchdown on the board. Then Georgia State answers with a 37-yard field goal with 49 seconds left in the third quarter. Coastal Carolina misses another field goal, this one from 34 yards out. That leads to a Marcus Carroll 7-yard touchdown run. May or may not be mentioned later in the show or at the end of the show. With 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, Coastal Carolina turns the ball over on downs. Sam Pinckney drops the pass, which leads to a 3-and-out by Georgia State. And Coastal Carolina scores on a ball boot snap punt. So Georgia State, that was basically it. And then it was like 30-17, no more scoring. So my takeaways, like I said, Georgia State dominated this game. Coastal Carolina couldn't get nothing going. Darren Granger played spectacular. He played great. The numbers might not show like major performance numbers, but he played great. He did his thing. Shout out to him. Georgia State 4-0 for like the first time in a long time, maybe the first time in program history. And the home team is still winless in this game, in this series, which is crazy. I didn't think it would matter this game. I thought Coastal was the better team, but I was wrong. Man. Georgia State is the better team. Sean Elliott, great coach. If I ever had the chance to play college football, he would be one of the coaches I would love to play for. Great coach. Great team win by Georgia State. We move on to Friday night. Friday night, we have 4 games. We're going to start with North Carolina State at University of Virginia, and this game was actually a really good game. UVA probably should have won this game. Calandria in the fourth quarter strikes again. He balls. He is a baller. Quarters 1 through 3. But that fourth quarter, interception bug comes to bite, man. Past 2 games, he has 5 picks in the past 2 games, he has 5 interceptions in the fourth quarter. 3 against Maryland, 2 against NC State. He has to cut these fourth quarter picks out. Now, as I'll get into later, he did lead a drive to tie the game. And we'll just get into the game. I'll get to it. To start the game, it starts with 3 straight punts and a UVA turnover on down. So 4 possessions, just nothing going either way. NC State scores off a UVA turnover on downs, 12-yard touchdown pass to Kevin Concepcion. Remember that name. He had a great game. He balled. UVA answers with an 8-yard touchdown pass to Malik Washington, another guy who balled. Calandria, he made a play. I think he scrambled out and found him. He just made a play to Malik Washington. Malik Washington made plays all game. UVA catches an interception with 5:10 left in the second quarter. Brennan Armstrong threw right to the defender, but it leads to a 3-and-out, so they don't get nothing from it. NC State gets a 1-yard touchdown run by Delprit Mims before the half, which was all set up by a crazy 30-yard pass by Brennan Armstrong and Kevin Concepcion. I think Brennan Armstrong was getting hit as he was throwing. I think he was dropping back, got hit as he threw. Kevin Concepcion comes down with the catch, 30-yard completion. Then UVA starts the second half with a punt. And NC State starts the second half with a punt. So it's oh, man, first half starts all again, punt. But then Malik Washington catches the screen pass and goes 62 yards, which sets up a 21-yard field goal by UVA. So now the score is 14-10. UVA gets a 36-yard field goal with 2:40 left in the third quarter, so now it's 14-13. NC State gets a 48-yard touchdown pass from Armstrong to Kevin Concepcion. Again, ball had an amazing game. Concepcion had an amazing game. UVA punts despite a North Carolina State defensive pass interference. And then Calandria throws a fourth quarter interception with 9:34 left in the fourth quarter, which leads to a punt. And Calandria again driving down the field, throws another interception with 5:39 left in the fourth quarter, which leads to another NC State 3-and-out punt. Then Calandria leads an amazing drive down the field to throw a 3-yard touchdown pass to Malik Washington. But then the O-lineman gets a stupid, boneheaded, unsportsmanlike conduct. He just headbutts the NC State defender, moves them back 10, 15 yards. I think it's 15 yards on the 2-point conversion try, which they do need at this point because it's 19-21 late in the game. And it doesn't matter. Calandria throws a dart as he's getting hit, which leads to the 2-point conversion being good. But then as his helmet's coming off, he just takes it off and he poses in front of the home crowd, gets an unsportsmanlike conduct for excessive celebration and taking his helmet off, leads to a kick from the 20 instead of the 35, which sets up NC State in great field position for NC State to get the game-winning field goal. 48-yarder was set up a 48-yarder, which was blocked. But then there was a flag for leaping over the center. You can't jump over the center's back. You can't use his back. You can't do that anymore. They cut that a while ago. I know Bobby Wagner did it before. Dan Basin did it before. But you can't do it no more. So that took it from a 48-yarder to a 33-yarder, which was good. And NC State wins and escapes 24-21. Now, UVA, again, it still haunts them. They cannot consistently run the ball. They can't get these short yardage situations consistently. NC State played sloppy. Didn't capitalize on the 2 interceptions. They sure didn't. Went 3-and-out and punted, and then punted again. Kept leaving the door open for UVA when UVA was, Colangelo was trying to do his thing and get a game away again. And like I said, NC State snuck out. So they snuck out with the victory. UVA, I know it's now 0-4, but again, don't hang your head, man. Y'all are in these games. Y'all should have won this one. Y'all could have very well won against Maryland. Just I understand Colangelo, the freshman, just hang in there with him. Hang in there with him. He's the baller. He's showing he's immensely talented. He just got to stop these fourth quarter interceptions. Next game we got is Wisconsin and Purdue, and this game wasn't as close. It wasn't close at all. Final score, Wisconsin 38, Purdue 17. And Purdue defensive struggles haunts them again. Now, Purdue defense did step it up in the second half. I will give them that. But they couldn't stop a Pop Warner team in the first half. Purdue, first drive, 3-and-out. Wisconsin takes the ball, 61 yards, ended with a 14-yard Tanner Mordecai touchdown run off a read option. Man, he fooled it. I think he fooled the cameraman. Read option. So he raided the defense, pulled it, took off. 2 holding calls on Purdue's second drive leads to a punt. Can't kill drives, man, especially when you don't have a defense. You got to sustain drives. Purdue finally gets on the board. Oh, no, my bad. Purdue's second drive. I put Purdue. I meant to write Wisconsin. Wisconsin's second drive ends in a Tanner Mordecai 6-yard touchdown run. He just scrambled. It was a pass. He scrambled, got to the end zone. Purdue finally gets on the board with a 34-yard field goal, but then Wisconsin scores a third touchdown on his third drive with a 14-yard Braylon Allen touchdown run. He had a pretty good game this game as well. Game ends. The game ends for Purdue. Oh, no. What? Why did I write this? I don't know why I wrote this where I wrote this. But Wisconsin scored a touchdown. Oh, okay. Here we go. Excuse me. Hold on. So, I wrote these notes kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. Wisconsin starts the second half with a 38-yard field goal. Set up by Braylon Allen, 52-yard run. Excuse me. Purdue starts the second half with a 19-yard Tyrone Tracy touchdown run. And Tyrone Tracy actually played really well in the second half. He was able to break some explosive runs. As I said, he scored. I think he had a really good second half. Wisconsin answers with a 22-yard field goal. Purdue scores a touchdown in the third quarter with a 6-yard run by Hudson Card. Wisconsin had a huge kickoff return, which leads to a 49 or 47-yard field goal. Hudson Card blinks first, throws a bad interception, but Tanner Mordecai throws an interception right back. So they trade picks. But the Wisconsin interception leads to a Purdue turnover on downs. With 5:02 left in the game, Card gets stripped. This is a weird play. So Hudson Card gets sacked and he gets stripped. Devin Mockabee he picks up the fumble, but he's not on the ground. He's standing up. He just stands there. He doesn't do anything. He acts like the play is over because he picked up the fumble. And the Wisconsin guy just knocked the ball out of his hands, picked it up, and it's Wisconsin's ball. Devin Mockabee again, where's your head at? This is the second week in a row. And I like Devin Mockabee. He was one of my major players coming back in the preseason. I don't know where his head is. So that happens, which leads to a 4-yard Braylon Allen touchdown run for a second touchdown of the game. And then they run a 2-point conversion play to go up 3 scores, to go up 21. And they run a reverse pass to Tanner Mordecai, and it's good. It was a good play call. And the game ends. Purdue got stops late in the game, but Purdue couldn't capitalize, and Braylon Allen had an incredible game. And a bright spot for Purdue was Deion Burks. He had a really good game this game. And like I said, Tyrone Tracy had an amazing second half. So back to these notes that I kind of wrote weird. I think I put game, but I was supposed to put half. The half ends in a punt and a Hail Mary interception. That's how it ended for Purdue. They were driving the ball a little bit. They didn't get enough field goal range, so he had to throw it up for a Hail Mary, and he just got picked off. So it is what it is there. But Wisconsin dominated, won the game. Clearly the better team. Purdue Purdue in the first half couldn't play any defense. Second half stepped it up. Then Purdue just couldn't capitalize. What's up, Teddy? Appreciate you for stopping by, my boy. Trying to get these week 4 recaps going. So the next game after that. Oh, by the way, I did pick Wisconsin. So 2-1 there, going into Air Force at San Jose State. Now this game looked like it was going to be a barn burner. It looked like it was going to be high scoring. Final score: Air Force 45, San Jose State 20. So it's in San Jose State. They got a lot of momentum. Home game. San Jose State starts with a touchdown on his first drive. And lo and behold, I've been screaming this for weeks. Chavon Cordero, use your legs. He scored a 10-yard touchdown run. They're going to design quarterback run, but the extra point is no good. So then Air Force gets a 30-yard field goal and it's on its first drive, and it's 6-3 San Jose State. San Jose State goes 3-and-out due to a penalty. Air Force converts a 4th and 3 with a pass. They actually passed the ball, which leads to an Emmanuel Michelle 17-yard touchdown run. Remember that name because he may or may not be at the end of the show too. San Jose State responds with a 29-yard touchdown run by Kyrie Robinson. Kyrie Robinson had a great game. He broke multiple long runs. Then Kyrie Robinson, 33-yard run, leads to a 1-yard Kyrie Robinson touchdown run for his second touchdown of the day. Air Force responds with a 4-yard touchdown run by Emmanuel Michelle. Air Force scores a 5-yard John Lee Elridge touchdown run to start the second half. The drive took 8 minutes and 42 seconds, and that's what I'm talking about with these military academies and time of possession. They just run and run and run and run and kill the clock and kill the clock and kill the clock because the score at halftime was 20-17 San Jose State. They're up 3. They're at home. They're probably pumped. They get shut out the second half. No touchdowns. And it's mainly because of time of possession. San Jose State, down 24-20, go 3-and-out. Once they get the ball for the first time in the second half. Air Force gets a 1-yard touchdown run by Emmanuel Michelle. Drive took 7 minutes and 38 seconds. So the total of Air Force 2 drives took up more than a quarter. That drive alone. And now they're up 2 scores. And that's what I mean. So then San Jose State turns the ball over on 4th and 1. They stuffed the run. Air Force ball. Air Force on 4th and 4 scored on a 34-yard touchdown run by John Lee Elridge. Chavon Cordero throws an interception with 5:16 left in the game, which leads to a 2-yard Jet Harris touchdown run. And that was the ball game. That's the ball game right there. Air Force scored on every second half drive. Just same thing what they did to Utah State, except not in the first half, but the second half. And I mean, they did, I think, punt 1 drive against Utah State to start the first half. So, but dominant second half by Air Force, just dominant. Took the time of possession, won the game. Just doing what military academies do: bleed the clock, score touchdowns, force you to make a mistake. Air Force shut out, like I said, San Jose State in the second half, and they dominated time of possession. So that's all I got really there. And the last game of the night, Friday night, we got Boise State at San Diego State. And if you'd have told me this would have been a high-scoring game, I would have called you a liar. And I would have been wrong because the final score was Boise State 34, San Diego State 31. That's high-scoring for a game like this with these guys. And remember that name I told y'all about, Ashton Jeanty, who for sure will be on major performances, had a phenomenal game, spectacular game. He's legit. The boy is legit. San Diego State gets a huge kickoff return, but Jalen Maiden fumbles at the 1, which Boise State recovers. San Diego State was shooting themselves in the foot all game. Turned the ball over, 2 fumbles, missed field goal. Could have won the game despite Genty's major performance, but just could not get out of his own way. San Diego State gets a 34-yard touchdown pass. Jalen Maiden to Baylon Brooks. Hey, these receivers, Baylon Brooks and Breon Penny, not major games, but really good games. Great games by these 2 guys. Jeanty, 37-yard screenplay leads to a 25-yard Eric McAllister touchdown catch with 11:58 left in the second quarter. Then you had San Diego State respond with a 22-yard field goal. But then Ashton Jeanty scores a 58-yard touchdown run, broke 2 tackles, questionable on the third. He high-stepped the third tackle. You want to call it a broken tackle? It's up to you. high stepped him and just took off, was gone. San Diego State responds with a 2-yard touchdown run by Armstead, excuse me. Then Genty, a 36-yard run, leads to a 29-yard field goal. Boise State starts the second half going 3 and out, with San Diego State starts the second half with a 40-yard field goal miss. And like I said, just could not get out of his own way. Genty had the 25-yard run, leads to Eric McAllister 39-yard touchdown catch. Eric McAllister had a 39-yard catch, which leads to a 27-yard field goal. Then Jalen Maiden fumbles, which Boise State recovers, leads to a crazy 10-yard touchdown run by Taylor Green. Then San Diego State answers with a 10-yard run of his own by Jalen Armstead. And with 2:02 left in the game, Ashton Genty scores a 6-yard touchdown run. And then SDSU responds with a Jalen Maiden 10-yard touchdown run. And then Boise State runs out the final 42 seconds of the game to win the game 34-31. Ashton Genty, like I said, the boy is legit. The boy is a dog. Man, I can't talk about him enough. Just a great running back for Boise State. San Diego State kept killing themselves. Like I said, 2 fumbles and a missed field goal. Baylon Brooks, Breon Penny, great games. I think they combined for like 200 yards. Hey, the game itself was really good. A great way to end Friday night. Going into Saturday at noon, this game not so great. We had Rutgers at number 2, Michigan. Final score, 7-31. And I'll let you know right now, Rutgers scored in the first minute of the game, and that was it. That was all. Rutgers starts the game with a 69-yard touchdown pass to Christian Drummond. Looked like a bang-aid, like a skinny post. Didn't look like a post. Didn't look like a quick slant. Like I said, like a bang-aid. Leads to a 69-yard touchdown pass, and that was it. That was it. I told y'all, Michigan would key in on Cal Monungai. He had 11 carries for like 27 yards, could not get going. Tried to make Gavin Wimsatt beat him, and he didn't. He did not. He threw the touchdown later in the game. He threw a touchdown to Michigan. So Gavin Wimsatt is not going to win you many games with his arms. He might not win you any games with his arms. I won't say that, but if it's between him and Cal Monungai, you're going to shut down Cal Monungai and make Gavin Wimsatt beat you. So after 2 punts, Michigan gets a 2-yard Blake Corum touchdown run, set up by a trick play. It's like a reverse. It was like a reverse flea flicker to a wide open guy. Sets up the 2-yard touchdown run. Both teams then missed field goals. Rutgers missed from 51. Michigan missed from 42. With 1 minute and 41 left in the second quarter, Michigan scores an 18-yard touchdown pass to Samaj Morgan. And then Rutgers turns the ball over on downs to end the half. Michigan gets a 46-yard field goal to start the second half. Gavin Wimsatt throws a 71-yard pick 6 to Mike Sirestill on a screen. So with these quarterbacks throwing picks on screens. Michigan State quarterback did yesterday was almost a pick 6, but bruh fell, and even before all that, he actually stepped out of bounds. But these picks on screens, man. Then Michigan gets a 5-yard Blake Corum touchdown run to end the game. Cal Monungai, like I said, shut down 11 carries, 27 yards. Gavin had 1 big play. After that, didn't really play too well. And Michigan started slow as usual. Started slow against Bowling Green. Started slow against you. They just start slow, but then got going. Against better competition, Michigan cannot do that. They cannot keep starting slow and thinking they're going to win games. And they have no excuse this week because Jim Harbaugh was back on that sideline. And this one thing real quick. Jim Harbaugh said, I'm back to where I was supposed to be. Your school suspended you, not the NCAA. So what do you mean? Anyway, I digress. On to one of the better games of last night or of yesterday. Number 4, Florida State at Clemson. And Florida State escapes Death Valley 31-24 in overtime. And shout out my dog, Keon Coleman. Game-winning, high ball, touchdown. You need to play Dow 4. I'm going to keep saying it. You need to play Dow 4. He going to be there. Just give him a chance. So the game starts with 2 punts. Then with 1 minute 47 left in the first quarter, Clemson gets a 30-yard field goal to go on the board first. Then FSU responds with a 7-yard Keon Coleman touchdown catch. No, excuse me. I missed the touchdown. Rewind. Clemson gets a 1-yard Cade Klubnik touchdown run after a defensive holding. So it was 3rd and goal. They run like a jump pass holding is questionable in my opinion, but if you ask me, it's a bad call. No, I just think it was a questionable call, but I don't think it's a bad call. They called a holding. The linebacker was engaged with the tight end. The tight end was acting like he was blocking. He tried to release. The linebacker kind of released with him, but he was trailing. He had his hand on like his hip, but I don't think he pulled or tugged. Holding call was called, leads to the touchdown run. Florida State then responds, like I said, with the Keon Coleman touchdown catch. Clemson responds with a Will Shipley 10-yard touchdown run. Then FSU responds with a 2-yard Jordan Travis touchdown run after a defensive pass interference right before the half. And then Florida State opens up the second half with a 48-yard field goal. And it's now tied 17-17. Somebody got to take the momentum. And Clemson, with 8:18 left in the third quarter, scores a 9-yard Tyler Brown touchdown catch, took the momentum. But then Kalen DeLuch, after Florida State doesn't score, gets a sack, forced fumble recovery, touchdown with 1:41 left in the third quarter, and now it's tied 24-24. Again, who's going to take this momentum? Who's going to win this game? And it looked like FSU took it. Then Clemson goes down. No, hold on, excuse me. Yeah, with 1:41 left. No. So Clemson goes down. Gets in field goal range later in the game with 1:49 left, but misses the field goal from 30 yards out, or 29, 30 yards out, with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. And I'm like, all right, Jordan Travis, I got you as my Heisman winner this year. This is your Heisman moment. Go down and win this game. In the first play, he throws a beautiful ball and a beautiful catch by Johnny Wilson. They get another first down, but that's it. They go 4 and out from Clemson's 39 with 12 seconds left. Clemson runs the ball thinking that the coach wants to be conservative, take it to OT, but then it was a mixed communication. But anyway, we go to OT. Second play of OT, Keon Coleman gets a 24-yard touchdown catch. Clemson goes 4 and out with a very, very questionable call on third down. I think they ran like a jet sweep or like a swing pass, something, which got stopped short. And then they got stuffed on fourth down. And that's the ball game. Florida State wins 31-24. Clemson played Jordan Travis really well. Clemson probably should have won this game. I'm not going to lie. But Florida State escaped Death Valley. Florida State gets the W, stay undefeated. Keon Coleman, man, I can't speak too much. I mean, it's nothing more I can really say about Keon that I haven't said. So he's just great. And Cade Klubnik and these receivers actually played well, in my opinion. They played good enough to win this game. They was able to get separation against these DBs. I know that was a question I had coming into this game, but they showed they could play really well, and they were missing 2 of their top receivers. They was missing Cole Stewart and I think Antonio Williams. So great game by them. Just came up short at the end. That's why it's 3 phases of the ball, man. Offense, defense, and special teams. Got to make that kick. Going to another game that was way less fun. Auburn and Texas A&M. Final score, Auburn 10, Texas A&M 27. Auburn is struggling at the quarterback position. Peyton Thorne is in it. I don't think the other guy is it. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, because I'm thinking the Tank Bixby was the running back. So I don't know. Why am I blanking? Robbie Ashford. Robbie Ashford is in it. But let's get into the game. So Texas A&M opens with a 51-yard field goal. Then they get a 32-yard field goal after that. Then, after a series of punts, Auburn gets a 53-yard field goal with 5 seconds left in the second quarter. That's the first half, ladies and gentlemen, 6-3. The Auburn punts to start the second half. Texas A&M gets a 22-yard touchdown pass from brother to brother, Max Johnson to Jack Johnson, 22-yard touchdown catch. And you like cool moments like that. It was cool to see that. Then we get another touchdown from one of the guys I brought up in my preview, Evan Stewart. Evan Stewart catches a 37-yard touchdown pass from Max Johnson, and that giant was a drop in the bucket in between 2 defenders. He got smacked at the end of that catch, but holds on to it for a touchdown. And Texas A&M, Ruben Owens fumbles later in the game. And like they said in the broadcast, Johnny on the spot, the ball pops right into Eugene Asante's hands, takes it 69 yards or 67 yards, for a scoop and score for Auburn's only touchdown of the game. With 12:18 left in the game, Texas A&M gets a 4-yard run. Touchdown run by Le'Veon Moss, set up by 79-yard Amari Daniels touchdown. Long run. It should have been a touchdown run. He got hawked from behind. Got tired. What they say about Breece Hall? He's not in shape. I don't think that's the case, but he got hawked nonetheless. Le'Veon Moss took got the cleanup touchdown. Then Auburn ends the game with a turnover on down, sacked on 4th and 10. And that's the game, man. Just Auburn couldn't sustain any offense. Texas A&M has 7 sacks and 15 tackles for a loss. 7 sacks and 15 tackles for a loss. That Texas A&M defense was not playing with Auburn this week, and it showed. Texas A&M had a lot of explosive plays. 37-yard touchdown, 79-yard run, 22-yard touchdown. Just a lot of explosive plays. And Auburn had no offensive touchdowns. Like I said, the scoop and score from 69 yards out. The only score of the game for Auburn. Max Johnson looked really good when called upon. And Connor Wegman got hurt in the first quarter, so prayers up to him. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. We move on to 16th ranked Oklahoma at Cincy. Now, little note here. I'm a degenerate. Y'all know this. I done said this on multiple shows. So I'm in a group chat as well as a parlay chat. And in the group chat, we were talking about Oklahoma's under on a guy, my boy Ace, who's been on the show. He said somebody told him under 61, Oklahoma Cincy, and he was like, I think he said something along the lines of I'm confused or why or something like that. And I'm like, hold on, under 61, sign me up. So I go on FanDuel, try to see if that's the over-under, and I see 57.5. So I don't take it off the strength that I'm pissed it's not 61. Because I'm like, I can see it's under 61. These defenses is no joke. Oklahoma's probably going to lean on the run game if they can't get it going passing, because the run game is definitely going, like I said in my preview, let the run game get going. It's what opened up the game against SMU. It should open up the game against Cincy, which it turned out to do. Let me get that 61 under, please. But didn't take it because that wasn't the number, and I wasn't trying to alt total, so just left it alone. And the final score was Oklahoma 20, Cincy 6. It could have been under 36. It would have hit. The under was money from the jump. So let's get into the game. Both teams start off with a punt, and with 7:41, Cincy gets the scoring on the board first with a 39-yard field goal. Dylan Gabriel fumbles on 3rd and 3 in the red zone, which Cincy recovers, but it leads to a punt. So no harm, no foul, but you do come away with no points. So that's the harm, no points. Oklahoma then scores a 5-yard touchdown pass to Nick Anderson, gets in the end zone again. Oklahoma then gets a 34-yard field goal to make the score 10-3. Emory Jones throws the 3rd and 12 interception into double coverage, which leads to a punt. Since he misses a 26-yard field goal right before the half. They're not the first team to do it. I mean, they're not the only team to do this yesterday either. K-State did it later on, which I will get into. Oklahoma punts to open up the second half, which Cincy converts, Cincy converts a fourth down, which leads to a 54-yard field goal to make the score 10-6. Oklahoma answers with a 1-yard Dylan Gabriel touchdown run. He got pushed in. So Dylan Gabriel's fighting. He's like probably at the half. He's fighting. Cincy defender comes over, try to pull him out. The receiver comes, but the O-lineman comes in. Just nudges him in there for a touchdown. So they go up 17-6 at this point. Cincy gets a turnover on downs, 4th and 2, incomplete pass thrown into double coverage. Leads to a 30-yard field goal by Oklahoma, set up by an amazing Andrew Anthony, 49-yard catch. Pass interference, sideline ball, don't matter. Andrew Anthony comes down with it. I'm happy Andrew Anthony got to change the scenery, leaving Ann Arbor. Had a great game against us 2 years ago when we had Kenneth Walker. Didn't really do much sense. Now he's thriving in Oklahoma, so great. That's one thing I love about the transfer portal, man. Some people just need to change the scenery. It's just like free agency. Some players in the NFL just need to change the scenery. Transfer portal allows that to happen. He's doing good there in Oklahoma, so shout out him. So after that, Emory Jones throws a 4th and 2 interception. Really wasn't his fault. Under the rush, throws it to the receiver. It's on the money. The receiver drops it. The ball pops up as a tip drill, intercepted by Oklahoma. Then Cincy turnover on down 4th and 2. Emory Jones, he tries to run for it. He's short. And that's it. Oklahoma wins 20-6. Both defenses came to play. Both defenses had an amazing games. Oklahoma run game got set going in the second half, which led to Oklahoma scoring more. I mean, they scored 10 points they scored 10 points in both halves, but the run game really did open up more for Oklahoma. Angelo Anthony had another big game, and Oklahoma was able to keep Cincy out the end zone, which was key. 20-6, man. So shout out Oklahoma, surviving advance 4-0. Now our last game on the noon slot, SMU at TCU. Final score 17-34. And I told y'all in my preview, SMU was not going to win a shootout. That's not how they win this game. Now, at the half, the score was 10-14. That's how I said they will win the game. They have to limit TCU scoring. They have to keep the game low scoring. SMU will have a chance. 10-14 at halftime. SMU scores 20, TCU outscores SMU 20-3 in the second half. Lose the game. But we'll get into it. SMU opens up with a 24-yard field goal. TCU opens up with a punt. But then TCU gets the ball back and scores a 9-yard touchdown pass to Jared Wiley, set up by converting a 4th and 1. SMU turns the ball over on downs. Jalen Knighton, I guess, was stopped short on 4th and 2. Leads to a 2-yard Jared Wiley touchdown catch. So it's for a second touchdown today. SMU then answers with a 1-yard Kamar Wheaton touchdown run. And that's it for the first half, 14-10. TCU opens up the second half with a 35-yard field goal. SMU opens up the second half with a punt. So not good. TCU gets a 24-yard field goal. SMU gets a turnover on downs, 4th and 2, pass incomplete. TCU scores a 24-yard Imani Bailey touchdown run. SMU then throws an interception, thrown in the coverage. Josh Newton catches the interception. But TCU turns the ball over on downs, and Preston Stone throws another interception in the red zone this time. DB makes an outstanding catch. He high points the ball. He actually kind of like gets it over the receiver. Interception in the red zone. Just a great play by the defensive back, Bud Clark. Just made a great play. But TCU, again, turns the ball over on downs with the 4th and 4 incomplete pass. SMU scored the 2-yard Tyler Levine touchdown run, and then TCU will answer with a 36-yard Chase Curtis touchdown catch to put the game on ice and win the game. Like I said, not too many notes here. This is one of the games I barely watched. But like I said, man, SMU was not going to win a shootout. If TCU scored a lot of points, SMU was not going to match that, and they surely didn't. Moving on to the 3:30 slot. We had a good game. We had a really good game at the 3:30. We had a blowout. We're going to have to talk about it, Coach Prime. Had a blowout. We had another defensive struggle at the 3:30 time slot. And then we had an offensive explosion at the 3:30 time slot. So we'll get into the really good game first here with Ole Miss, 15th ranked Ole Miss at 13th ranked Alabama. I know I called my shot here. Oh, by the way, for the noon games, I went. So the noon games, I picked Michigan, Florida State, Texas A&M. I picked Oklahoma, and I picked TCU. So 5-0 in the noon slot. Now, I bring that up to say, Ole Miss, Alabama, I called my shot. I picked Ole Miss. And for the first half, I was looking sweet. And then Alabama turned it around the second half to win. Final score 24-10. Man, just tell the two halves for Ole Miss. Ole Miss defense flying around first half. Looked crazy. Highly energized. Offense was moving the ball. Not sustaining drives, but was able to move the ball. And then the second half, Alabama cut out the mistakes, cut out the mental errors. Nick Saban must have torn a new one in the locker room because they looked like a whole nother team in the second half. So let's get into the game. Ole Miss got one first down and punted. Then Alabama goes down the field for a 48-yard field goal. Ole Miss responds with a 10-yard Jackson Dart touchdown run. Just ran right up the middle. It just looked easy. Set up by a crazy Quinshawn Judkins 14-yard run. So Judkins kind of had like that Jerome Ford run where he went left. It was like he hit the line of scrimmage and was able to spin back right and gain 14 yards for a first down. Ole Miss catches red zone interception. It was just a bad ball by Jalen Milroe. Just try to throw back corner to end zone. DB picks it off. Then Ole Miss punts gets blocked, and Alabama recovers at like the 1 or the 2 yard line. But immediately a bad snap goes backwards, and 2 sacks leads to a 40-yard field goal, which is good, making the score 7-6, which is the halftime score. Because Ole Miss misses a 34-yard field goal with 13 seconds left before the half. 34. I think he just shanked it. So we go out of halftime. Jermaine Burton, 54-yard catch, sets up a 24-yard field goal, which is good. There was a holding call that called back a 21-yard touchdown run, so it could have been easily 13, 14-7, because who knows if they go for one or get the extra point, because it would have been a 5-point game before either choose. It would have been 12-7 before choosing the extra point or the 2 points. So goes 9-7. Jackson Dart starts to pick, and this is where I think the momentum shifted. He throws a terrible interception. Just, what are you doing? Just throw the bad pick. And I think that starts the momentum shift, because that leads to a 33-yard touchdown to Amari Kneblack, and they go for 2 and get it. So now score 17-7. Ole Miss gets a 35-yard field goal, so it's like 17-10 now, and that'll be it for Ole Miss. Alabama answers with an 8-yard touchdown run, and then it's just like from then on, Ole Miss is getting hunted by Alabama. Alabama started playing the Ole Miss backfield. Jackson Dart was barely having time. Now, he was able to convert. Like, with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left, he was leading the drive where they converted 2 fourth downs, including a 4th and 23. But at the end, couldn't sustain it for a touchdown. Turnover on downs. And then Ole Miss jumps off sides on the 3rd and 2. Gives up an easy first down. Didn't even make Alabama work for it. Alabama gets another first down. They just iced the game there. Ole Miss, I tried to call my shot. I thought y'all was ready this year. And in the first half, y'all was proving me right. But in the second half, boy, oh boy. Like I said, I think the Jackson Dart interception was the momentum swing that Alabama needed. Changed the whole landscape of the game. Alabama then capitalized off of it, and it was just a wrap from there. Ole Miss was playing down. Alabama defense was allowed to hunt. Ole Miss loses. Now, to the defensive struggle that was UCLA at Utah. And the reason why this is a defensive struggle, because Utah scored 1 offensive touchdown. UCLA scored 1 offensive touchdown. Utah started the game with a pick 6, and that was the difference in the game. Dante Moore for sure looked like a freshman. Why I can't find my water? Did I crush it? I must have crushed it. Dante Moore looks like a freshman. My bad, throat getting dry. But that was not what I was looking for, by the way. But yeah, so he looked like a freshman in this game. But it's come with that when you're playing this great Utah team. Now, I know, again, I tried to call my shot. I picked UCLA to win this game at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Should have known better. But I love an underdog, 1. I do love an underdog. And 2, figured Cam Rising wasn't going to play. I figured this offense was going to struggle. I thought if you told me Utah only scored 1 touchdown and scored 14 points total, I thought UCLA could for sure win this game. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And honestly, they probably should have won this game. Just, they were getting down the field, just couldn't sustain drives. I don't know if they don't trust their kicker, going for it a lot on 4th down, not getting it. Picks, just, terribly timed sacks, just UCLA, just a head scratch of a loss. So we get into it. UCLA, like I said, first play, throws a pick 6 to Kareem Reed, go down 7-zip off break. Now with 8:37 left in the first quarter, Utah misses a 47-yard field goal. Then with 7:12 left in the first quarter, Nate Johnson fumbled. So Utah could have easily won by more as well. I'm not going to leave that off the table. UCLA recovers. With 3:45 left, UCLA turnover on downs. Dante Moore, incomplete pass. UCLA dropped a touchdown on that play. That's another thing. Drop touchdowns. Dante Moore missed a wide open touchdown. Not missed as he threw him and missed, but just didn't see it. It's just a lot in this game. This game was sloppy. It was the defensive game. Just a lot of mistakes on both ends on both teams. With Utah, with a turnover on downs right after, which leads to a UCLA punt. Utah breaks the scoring drive with a Nate Johnson 7-yard touchdown pass to Landon King. Both teams punt to start the second half. With 1:34 left in the third, Dante Moore fumbles at the Utah 9. Utah recovers again in the red zone. Red zone mistake for UCLA. Leads to a Utah punt with 13-19 left in the fourth quarter. Dante Moore throws an incomplete pass on 4th and 4. Turnover on downs, but leads to a punt. With 3:39 in the fourth quarter, UCLA finally scores with a 17-yard pass from Moore to Josiah Norwood. Finally on the board, down 7. Now, with 3:39 left in the fourth quarter, UCLA my bad. Then they converted on that drive. Oh, so this was crazy. They're down 14-0. Have a 3rd and 27. I'm like, oh man, there's no way. They get like a 23-yard catch to make it 4th and 4, and then they convert with a 45-yard pass to Carson Ryan, get the touchdown. Then UCLA gets the ball back to tie, but goes 4 and out, and Utah nails out the rest of the game. Utah defense had 7 sacks. So another team with 7 sacks. We have Texas A&M and Utah. By the way, I know that might kill me, but they're not on major performances. I had too many offensive players. They're not. I do have a defensive player on major performances. His game is coming up. But these defenses are not on. They played outstanding. They would have made major performances probably any other week, just not this week. UCLA offense couldn't sustain drives. Like I said, man, just defensive struggle, a lot of mistakes. Dante Moore for sure showed why he's a freshman, looked like a freshman, just like Calandria is looking like a freshman at UVA with these fourth quarter picks. Now we go on to the blowout. I didn't call my shot here. I gave y'all a gambling tree, however, and I failed y'all. Told y'all to take the 21.5 or the 21. 19th ranked Colorado at 10th ranked Oregon. Final score, Colorado 6, which was a garbage touchdown. So Oregon 42, which they probably took their foot off the pedal. Not too many notes to talk about here. Oregon starts with a 3-yard Noah Whittington touchdown run. I knew Oregon was going to get whatever they can on the ground. Colorado trenches are not up to par yet. Colorado starts with a 3-and-out punt. And, hey, look, punt is just going to be the name of the game for Colorado. Oregon answers with a 1-yard Casey Kelly touchdown catch. Then Oregon fakes a punt. Oregon was literally doing whatever they wanted this game. Oregon fakes a punt on 4th and 4, which leads to a 16-yard Troy Franklin touchdown catch. Remember that name. Colorado finally gets a stop with a Bo Nix interception, but it leads to a punt. So couldn't even capitalize there. Oregon gets a 36-yard touchdown catch by Troy Franklin. They're up 28-0, pretty fast. Oregon scores again with a Bo Nix 11-yard touchdown run before the half. So they're up 35-0 at half. And yeah, we're just going to Colorado open his first drive in the second half, like it's been doing the whole game, with a punt. Then Oregon scores a touchdown on second half drive, 4th and goal, 1-yard touchdown run by Jordan James. They were going for it on 4th downs. It was pretty clear Oregon was trying to embarrass Colorado. You can even tell by what the coach said in the locker room. They play for clicks, we play for wins. It's not the same, and all this other BS. I understand trying to motivate your players, but it seems like he was hating. It seems like he was hating because Colorado was getting more pressure than Oregon. And we all know Oregon's the better team, and it's not close. We know that right now. It's because of the trenches. We know that Oregon's the better team. But it seems like he was hating because he don't get as much press. And it seemed like they're hating because he's coming out of nowhere by them. He didn't come out of nowhere by me. Now, going 3-0, didn't expect that. But I knew his roster would be better with people with talent. So it just seems like Deion catches a lot of hate. But them same people wasn't coming out saying, give the man a chance, when everybody said he's not going to do much better than 1-11. He's going to start out slow. He has the worst roster in college football. Nobody said nothing then. But now he's getting all the attention for proving a lot of people wrong and doing better than what a lot of people were saying he would do. Now he's getting a lot of hate for it, which that just shows your character, not his. Yeah, the game was out of reach though at that point when it's 42-0. So I didn't really, I ain't gonna lie, I cut it off. But Colorado finally gets the garbage touchdown with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left. 6-yard touchdown catch by Michael Harrison from Shedeur, and they blocked the extra point. Extra point is blocked. Like I said, Oregon got whatever they wanted. They dominated Colorado in the trenches. They had 7 sacks as well. So now 3 teams with 7 sacks. And if you're Colorado, I know the loss hurts, but you got to get over it pretty quick because you got Caleb Williams and them boys coming in the Boulder next week. So got to suck it up and just flush it. Pause. Because I know somebody's going, I know somebody in this day and age with all this Cam and Mace and all this Paul stuff, I got to pause it. So, yeah. Moving on to the offensive explosion. BYU at Kansas. And Kansas better be ranked within the next hour. The polls drop at 1 o'clock or around that time. Kansas better be in this top 25. Kansas deserved to be ranked last week. I think I said it in my preview. They deserve to be ranked. Now 4-0, just beat BYU 27-38 and played great. Now, I get if you have some angst or if you some reservations. That's the word. I get if you had some reservations behind that because last year Kansas started off great, got in the Big 12 play, and fell off a cliff. I get that. But last year should not dictate this year. Right now, they deserve to be ranked. Now, whatever they do once they are ranked is whatever they do once they are ranked. But from week 0 to week 4, they deserve to be ranked. So, like I said, let's get into the game. Kansas starts with a turnover on downs with 10:52 left in the first quarter. Then Kobe Bryant, might be the defender I was talking about. Kobe Bryant gets a forced fumble, scoop and score, 22-yard touchdown. 7-zip Kansas. Huge momentum shift. But BYU responds with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Darius Lassiter. Then Kansas responds with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Trevor Cardell. Then BYU responds with a 10-yard touchdown pass to LJ Martin. 14-14, just like that. Fireworks. With 1 minute left in the second quarter, BYU converts to 4th and 2, which leads to a 33-yard field goal. And it's 17-14 going into half. BYU. Remember the names I brought up during this preview. I said, can Keaton Slovis cut the turnovers with the secondary of Kenny Logan and Kobe Bryant? Now, I forgot about Melo Dotson. Number 3, I forgot about him on the other side. My apologies, my boy, because you definitely played good. But Kenny Logan catches a 30-yard pick six to start the second half. I told you about these boys at Kansas, man. The secondary is actually looking really good. Looked suspect last year with Kobe and Kenny looked really good, but the others, This year, the secondary, I don't know. They might be something this year. So Kenny Logan catches a pick six. Slovis throws a 50-yard completion to Chase Roberts, which leads to a 34-yard field goal. It's 21-20. Kansas' first offensive drive in the second half leads to a 5-yard touchdown by Luke Grimm. Scored twice. Slovis throws another interception, this one to Kobe Bryant. Leads to a 13-yard touchdown pass to Luke Grimm for a second. BYU overcomes a child block penalty, making it 1st and 25 with a defensive pass interference to score a 6-yard Keelan Marion touchdown run. But then Kansas, answers again with a 53-yard field goal with 1:36 left in the game. And then BYU turns the ball over on downs. I think Kansas breaks up a pass on 4th down, and they just kneel out the game to win 38-27. Just a great game, an explosive game. Keaton Slovis, though, 2 picks, both to my guys that I brought up in the secondary. I was ready to honestly say Keaton Slovis had a great game before those interceptions. I was even after the first one, I was ready to say Keaton Slovis had a great game despite the pick six. Looked really good, looked pretty accurate, was dropping passes in the bucket. But you can't throw 2 picks in a game like this where Kansas offense is hot. They're scoring when they touch the rock. Every time they touch the rock now, they are getting either a touchdown or a field goal. You can't turn the ball over. You got to score, and he turned it over. So I was ready to do it, Keaton, but then you just showed me why. You showed me why. Now, to the night games. These night games were bangers. Excuse me. Before I do that, I picked Kansas. I lost with UCLA. I won with Oregon, and I lost with Ole Miss. So I'm 2-2, 7-2 on Saturdays. I went 4-1 Thursday and Friday. So overall, 11-3. Not bad. Arkansas, LSU, Battle of the Boot. Another classic Battle of the Boot, man. These games are always, for the most part, I mean, I say always because y'all going to dig and find a blowout. These games are, for the most part, banger of a game. And that's why I took Arkansas plus 17.5, by the way, that hit. Bangers football game. I love when LSU Arkansas rolls around because I know I'm going to get just a great game. Final score. Arkansas 31, 12th ranked LSU 34. Won it off a last-minute field goal. This is exactly the type of game I expect from the Battle of the Boot. So let's get into it. Both teams start with a punt. Then Arkansas gets a 23-yard field goal. Jaden Daniels throws an interception, but then KJ Jefferson throws one right back. And Jaden kind of got baited. It looked like a cover two. Looked like he tried to short the out route. The cornerback broke, jumped it, picked it off. And then KJ just threw a bad pick right back, which leads to a punt. So both those picks, no harm, no foul. Then Arkansas gets a 23-yard field goal to go up 6-zip, LSU answers with a 25-yard field goal to go up 6-3. Arkansas answers with a 19-yard touchdown pass to Tyrone Broden. Amazing catch out the backfield. Should have been a pass interference. Well, pass interference was called and was accepted till they reviewed it and showed he caught the ball. Touchdown, just a great catch. Then LSU answers two big plays in 18 seconds. That touchdown by Broden was with like 48 seconds left in the first half. Two big plays to Brian Thomas, including the 49-yard touchdown pass. LSU's right back in it, 13-10. They did that in 18 seconds. So it's like 30 seconds left, and I think Arkansas just closed out the half. They're fine going up 13-10. Rather be up 13-3, but they were fine going up 13-10. Then LSU starts the second half with another 49-yard touchdown pass to Brian Thomas. Him and Malik Neighbors just had great games. I don't have to say much about Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is one of them ones at LSU. Told y'all coming into the season, Malik Neighbors is one of them guys, and he's proving it. He ain't doing me like, I'm sorry, you my dog. You was my dog coming into that year. He's not doing me like Keyshawn Boutte did me last year. He is balling this year. Arkansas starts with a 40-yard field goal. LSU answers with an 8-yard Malik Neighbors touchdown catch. You knew he was going to get in the end zone. What's up, my guy, Tay? Then Arkansas answers with a 59-yard Luke Haas touchdown catch off a broken play. So this is how it went down. The play went like this. LSU DB strapped the receivers on this play. KJ Jefferson breaks out the pocket. He's scrambling. The DB just loses sight of the tight end. Like, he just turns and looks at the quarterback, starts to take off. The tight end goes up the field, throws it, or the receiver goes up the field. Nobody's near him because the DB didn't plaster. Touchdown. You got to plaster. You'd rather give up whatever the quarterback get than give up a touchdown. Plaster to the receiver. Touchdown, Arkansas. Then Arkansas gets a 2-point conversion after a false start. Backs him up. Doesn't matter. KJ Jefferson throws a dart. Then LSU answers with a 20-yard Malik Neighbors touchdown catch. But then Arkansas answers with an 11-yard touchdown catch by Luke Haas, and that was 31-31 with 5 minutes and some change left. And LSU goes on a 5-minute drive down the field to kick a game-winning 21-yard field goal, wins the game. Well, Arkansas had some time. They had like maybe 5 seconds left. Gets the ball, throws a Hail Mary, is picked off. And LSU just wins an amazing game. I picked LSU to win. They win 34-31. Jaden Daniels had a great game with Neighbors, Brian Thomas, KJ Jefferson. Just a flat-out great game by everyone in general. Then we move on to where I finally called a shot and got it right. Oregon State, 14th ranked Oregon State at 21st ranked. Washington State, final score. Oregon State, 35. Washington State, 38. And, hey, Trent, my boy, you know you my dog. You might have to come on CTC and give my dog Cam Ward an apology. You said we don't trust Cam Ward, and I told you. I trust Cam Ward. And Cam Ward, no secret, is on major performances. He had a stellar performance. He's been balling all year. He's making a push to be in my top 5 college quarterbacks this year. Making a push, for sure. Let's get into the game. Now, I won't lie. I checked in and I watched some of this game, but it wasn't the main game on. My main games I was on was Notre Dame, Ohio State, and I'll get into how that pissed me off later, and LSU, Arkansas. Now, this game I was clicking in, so I was definitely tuned in, but not all the way. I was locked in those two. I was tuned into this one. So, Washington State opens with a 63-yard touchdown pass to Cal Williams. Just fireworks off the breaks. The Oregon State gets 1 first down and punts. Washington State gets another touchdown. Cam Ward, 1-yard touchdown run. Then Oregon State answers with a 38-yard Deshaun Fenwick touchdown run. I will say Washington State did have a problem with Deshaun Fenwick in this run game. Deshaun Fenwick probably should be on major performances with 3 touchdowns he had, but he just missed. There was just so many great performances. Then Washington State answers with a 44-yard touchdown pass to Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly catches a stop route. Defender tries to tackle, miss. Then we gave him a nasty spin move, made 3 people hit each other, and was gone to the crib. A receiver helped him with a block. Like, just look, do yourself a favor and look up that Josh Kelly touchdown run. Just a great play. So yeah, we move on from that to Washington State catches a DJU interception. But then Washington State fumbles. Oregon State gets the ball, and that leads to a Deshaun Fenwick 9-yard touchdown run. Then Cam Ward fumbles again, recovered by Oregon State, which leads to an Oregon State turnover on down because DJU got sacked. It was like no man's land. They went for it. DJU got sacked. I'll be trying to say his name. Ungalale. I know I'll be saying it wrong, so I'm going to just say you. Leads to an 11-yard touchdown pass to Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly had an amazing game. No secret. He's on amazing performance. Oregon State starts second half with a turnover on downs, 4th and 1 being incomplete. Washington State starts second half with a 51-yard field goal missed, but it leads to a punt. The Washington State gets a 19-yard Josh Kelly touchdown catch. I think that joint was a one-handed catch. Man, just do yourself a favor and just watch Josh Kelly against Oregon State. He played phenomenal. And side note, Lincoln Victor did go down in the first quarter. Was probably their best receiver. It didn't matter. They stepped up for the boys. So shout out to Josh Kelly and Cal Williams. Washington State answers with a 44-yard field goal. Oregon State answers with a 4-yard Deshaun Fenwick touchdown run, making it his 3rd of the day. And then Washington State turnover on downs, 4th and goal, Cam Ward incomplete pass. Oregon State drives 98 yards down the field, gets to a 4th and goal at the 5, down 38-28. And I'm like, no timeouts, by the way. And I'm like, you can't go for this. You have to kick it. You're going to need a field goal anyway. Might as well get it here with the clock stop. Go for the onside kick. If you don't get the onside kick, you're just going to lose whether you got a touchdown or a field goal anyway. But if you get the onside kick, you have a chance to drive down the field, maybe get a Hail Mary. If you don't get this 4th and goal at all, you leave with no points, the game's over. They just kneel it out. But DJU was able to find Jack Velling for a 5-yard touchdown pass with 1:12 left in the game. Then Washington State recovers the onside kick and kneels it out. Just a great game. Cam Ward at one point was like 19 for 20. 1 incomplete pass, 20 passes. Are you serious, Cam Ward? Just a great game. Great year by him. The FCS transfer out of Incarnate Word. So, phenomenal year. And Washington State looking like a team not that could push for for a Pac-12 championship, because as much as I love this Washington State team, they're going to probably lose the Apple Cup. Not even probably. They're going to lose the Apple Cup to Washington. But they're looking like a 9-10 win team. And I told y'all on my preview, Oregon State has looked great, but they haven't been tested. And they came out slow against Washington State. Washington State at one point tried to let Oregon State back in this game with those fumbles. But I said it. Washington State was tested against Wisconsin, and they passed it. Oregon State had no test. This was the test. Now, they did play well. So I won't say they failed it. But they didn't get the W, so they didn't pass it either. It was like a C. But that defense, I told y'all, Oregon State has lost a lot on that defense. Is it the same? I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same as last year. I know people called me crazy in my previews for me saying it about Oregon State, but the proof's in the pudding now. I'm not as crazy after all. I'm not going to say I'm 100% right because we still got more season to go. It's only week 4. But I'm not going to say – but I am going to say you can't call me crazy for saying that now. Like, seeing what we see now, you can't call me crazy. So, we'll move on there to the banger, even though it's a low-scoring game, in South Bend, Indiana. Ohio State wins the game, cost me money. 6th ranked Ohio State, 17. 9th ranked Notre Dame, 14. Now, we'll get into the end of the game later. This game was pretty much 0-0 throughout the first half. I know Ohio State scored a field goal late. Ohio State opens with a punt. Now, Notre Dame drives down the field, and on 4th and 1, it looked like Sam Hartman might have ran a guy over for the first down, but after reviewing, he was short, turnover on downs. Excuse me. My fault, fellas. The Notre Dame misses a 47-yard field goal after all that There we go. They get the ball, miss a 47-yard field goal with 14:04 left in the second quarter. Leads to a Notre Dame goal line stand. So then Ohio State takes the ball, gets all the way to the goal line on 4th and goal. Try to outsmart Notre Dame on a play action pass. Incomplete. Notre Dame takes over. Then Ohio State, after Notre Dame drive, gets a 31-yard field goal with 26 seconds left in the second quarter. So like I said, it's 3-0 Ohio State at half. Notre Dame gets the ball, and to start, they have a turnover on down. So they get down the field, they're moving the ball, they get a 4th and 1. They try to quarterback sneak. Sam Hartman tries to bounce it. He's short. He's clearly short. Turnover on downs. And then Ohio State takes that, and Travion Henderson goes 61 yards down the field for a touchdown. But on that play, Marvin Harrison Jr. gets rolled up under, and he's hurt. But he's not out for the game, but he does get hurt. With that being said, Notre Dame gets the ball, and they answer with their own 1-yard touchdown run by Brian Payne. So now it's 10-7. Ohio State drive gets killed. Ohio State is moving the ball now, but the drive gets killed by unnecessary roughness after they convert on 3rd down. So I think Emeka Egbuka. Drive gets killed. They have the punt. So they went from potentially getting a touchdown field goal to a punt. And Notre Dame takes that ball and goes all the way down the field. Sam Hartman finds Rico Flores Jr. for a 2-yard touchdown catch. Go up 14-10. Now Ohio State gets the ball and they're driving again. They're driving. They get to a 4th and 1, and this is where I say people make football so complicated. You run a 4th and 1 jet sweep with Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams and Chip as your running backs. You run a jet sweep on 4th and 1. If you don't go downhill and if we can't get 1 yard, we don't deserve to win this game. Go downhill and get that 1 yard. No, you run a jet sweep. It stops short. He gets stuffed because he gets no push. Turnover on downs. Now, Notre Dame gets the ball. They get 2 first downs. They don't get the third. The third might have iced the game. They don't get the third first down, and they punt the ball away. So Ohio State has to go down the field. 1 timeout. Freshman quarterback, Cal McCord. And they get down the field. And then I believe it's a sack or a penalty that leads to a 3rd and 19. And Marcus Freeman in the defensive coordinator on 3rd and 19. 15 seconds. Oh, it's intentional grounding. That's what it was. Cal McCord on 2nd and 10 gets called for an intentional grounding because he didn't leave the tackle box. Throws it away. There's no receiver in the area. Intentional grounding. They use the timeout to stop the clock at 15 seconds. So it's no timeouts. 3rd and 19. 15 seconds. You call a drop 8 cover 2? Are you serious? A cover 2? 3rd and 19? Man, look. You're going to have to. I'm either calling a cover 4 and everybody trails, or I'm having 4 at the first down. I'm having 4 10-yard and everybody carries. It is no way I'm calling a cover 2. I do not care what you catch short. You have 15 seconds and no timeouts. You can't spike the ball if you don't get dispersed because it's going to be 4th down. Let him have anything below 10 yards and tackle it up. What are you doing? So they convert. Emeka Egbuka converts at the 1-yard line. College football. The clock stops momentarily to set the change. They have enough time to spike it. It's 7 seconds left. 1st and goal. Then, how does this happen? There's a spike. So it's now 2nd and goal. How do you have 10 guys on the field? Notre Dame, how? So 2nd and goal, they run a rollout pass to Marvin Harrison. And Benjamin Morrison, who had a phenomenal night, breaks it up. You can say he strapped Marvin Harrison Jr. Phenomenal night, breaks it up. So now it's 3rd and goal with 3 seconds. And I said this to myself while watching the game. If I'm Ohio State, I run the football. If I pass it, I lose. If I run it, I lose. So I might as well run it. It's 1 yard out. If I can't get 1 yard to win this game, we don't deserve to win this game. And they run it to Chip. Chip gets in. Oh, wait a minute. Notre Dame has 10 players in on defense again. Game on the line at home. How do you choke so badly? How? Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of either one of these teams. So if it wasn't me gambling on this game, I wouldn't care what happened. But this is honestly one of the worst choke jobs I've seen in my life. Besides the Ravens in 2017. That was another choke job. But we're not talking about this. Is a college show, so don't worry about that. But again, 3rd and 19, you call it cover 2. Then 10 players on the last 2 plays of a game-winning drive. Not to mention you drop picks on this same drive. Notre Dame, I guess they just didn't want to win. They just wanted to keep it close. They wanted to have a great game. I don't know what happened. I can't explain it. I'm not Marcus Freeman. I'm not nobody on the coaching staff. I'm not a player. I can't explain this loss. I can't. But Ohio State gets the win. Ryan Day, rightfully so, goes after Lou Holtz. He felt like the comments he made were inappropriate. I felt like they were inappropriate. Now, am I a believer in Ohio State to win a natty? No. But would I say they're not physical? No, I wouldn't. I mean, they're a football team at the end of the day. And, I mean, I get they're more so finesse maybe. But this is college football. Most teams are finesse. Like, the only teams that's, like, really power is, like, Georgia, Michigan, Penn State, Iowa. So, like, for the most part, there's a lot of finesse, air raid, slinging the ball around. But Ohio State wins 17-14. Notre Dame they're going to look back at this loss, and it's really going to hurt because this could have maybe put them out the playoffs. And it was avoidable. So we move on to a game I'm less passionate about or less enthusiastic about, or I don't have much to say. We move on to 24th ranked Iowa at 7th ranked Penn State. Man, short and sweet, Iowa got shut out. Penn State wins 31-0. Game was all Penn State. Game opened up with punts. Iowa fumbles the ball in Penn State territory. Penn State recovers. They're just allergic to scoring. Penn State gets a 46-yard field goal with 9:03 left in the first quarter. Then with 9:17 left in the second quarter, Drew Law throws a 9-yard touchdown pass to Khalil Dinkins. Both teams punt the remainder of the half, so it's 10-0, I think, at halftime. Penn State starts second half with a 2-yard Tyler Warren touchdown catch. It was, man, I seen this. So it was like a play action. Then the tight end, like, releases backside. Drew Law rolls right. The tight end, it's like a throwback. So the tight end leaks left, and he turns and throws to the tight end. Wide open touchdown. Iowa starts second half with a 3-and-out. Penn State starts second half with a 7-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Warren, set up by a face mask. K. McNamara fumbles on a sack. Penn State recovers, which leads to a 3-yard touchdown pass to Keandre Lambert-Smith. Then Penn State misses a garbage 43-yard field goal, and Iowa fumbles after that to end the game. Iowa gets shut out. Pretty much nothing to talk about here. Penn State just dominated at Penn State, at Happy Valley. Just did what they're supposed to do. Got a W. Penn State won't be top 5. Sorry. Moving on to UNC, 17th ranked UNC at Pitt. Before I talk about this game, if Kansas does get ranked, which I think they should get ranked, we will have UNC, Duke, and Kansas ranked in college football. That's pretty crazy. That's actually pretty funny. I'm here for it, though. I'm here for it. So let's talk about this North Carolina Pitt game. UNC wins 41-24. Pitt comes out actually on fire. I think they were honoring Larry Fitzgerald this game. They came out on fire. Start the game with a 7-yard touchdown run by Rodney Hammond Jr. Then UNC answers with a 3-yard Amarion Hampton touchdown run. But then Pitt scores again. Pitt scores again with a 1-yard touchdown run by Daniel Carter. 2 punts later, Drake May gets in on a 1-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal. Then Pitt punts its next drive. So the ensuing drive, Pitt punts, and it leads to a 52-yard punt return by Elijah Hussey. It looked like, honestly, lane just open, just ran straight, scored. Elijah Hussey scored the touchdown. Then Pitt answers with a 44-yard field goal, and that'd be it for the offense. They score again, but it wasn't offense. UNC answers with a 7-yard touchdown pass from Drake May to Kobe Pacehour. Pitt misses a 48-yard field goal to end the half, so UNC is up 28-17 at half. UNC starts the second half with a 1-yard Drake May touchdown run again. Then they after Pitt's drive, they score a 43-yard field goal, and on the ensuing kickoff, after they scored a 43-yard field goal to go up 38-17, Kenny Johnson takes it 99 yards to the house for a house call, and that'd be it for Pitt. They score a kickoff return touchdown to go down 38-24, and that'd be it pretty much. UNC answers with a 40-yard field goal. Christian Velix throws an interception. Just threw it up. He was getting hit. He just threw it up, and Elijah Hussey was just able to catch it like a punt. So for his interception, then Pitt blocks a punt, and like literally, like I think the next play, quarterback, running back, handoff exchange is fumbled, and UNC recovers. Pitt ends the game with a turnover and downs, and interception. UNC wins 41-24. Nothing really much to say here. I mean, Phil Jurkovec did look good to start the game. He came out firing, came out hot. He was making good throws under the rest, but UNC is just too much for Pitt. They outgunned them. They're, like I said, second half, they pretty much shut out that offense. They scored off of a kick return. So, yeah, man, UNC was just too much. And our last game before we get into major performances, UCF at K-State. I'm pretty sure I picked K-State to win that. Let me double check that. By the way, so I picked LSU, Washington State, Notre Dame. Lost my shot there. Penn State, UNC, and yep, I picked K-State to win against UCF. And K-State won 31-44. I figured they'll bounce back from that loss to Mizzou at home. Put up 44. K-State starts the game with a DJ Giddens 1-yard touchdown run. Remember that name. UCF answers with a 29-yard field goal. The UCF gets a pick on Will Howard. Leads to a R.J. Harvey 27-yard touchdown catch. And UCF is now up 10-7. K-State answers with a DJ Giddens 9-yard touchdown run. 14-10. R.J. Harvey fumbles. It was a quarterback-running back exchange, which K-State recovers. That leads to an 18-yard DJ Giddens touchdown run. A lot of great movement on the run. Made a couple guys miss. Just a great touchdown run by DJ. Broke through a hole. After 2 punts, UCF gets a 69-yard touchdown catch by Kobe Hudson. One of the guys I said that Timmy McClain would have to lean on. And K-State then turns the ball over on downs, but Timmy McClain throws an interception. K-State misses a 26-yard field goal before the half, like I said earlier in the show. They missed. UCF would have took that. But then UCF starts the second half with a 46-yard touchdown pass to Kobe Hudson. K-State answers with a 30-yard field goal. K-State scores a 2-yard Will Howard touchdown run set up by 2 personal fouls. I think one was a roughing the passer. UCF scores a 52-yard field goal. No, excuse me. UCF misses a 52-yard field goal, which leads to a 3-yard DJ Giddens touchdown run. Then UCF turns the ball over on downs, 4th and 20. Leads to a Will Howard 31-yard touchdown run to ice the game. And then UCF ends the game with a 1-yard R.J. Harvey touchdown run set up by a defensive pass interference just to make the score a little better. It was 44-24 at the time, down 20. Just makes it a little prettier. But nothing really to take away from this game other than DJ Giddens was able to finally give K-State a running game. UCF, they look good despite John Rice Plumlee being out. I don't think that UCF is going to be – I don't think they're going to taper off too much with John Rice Plumlee being out. I think it's fine. I just think this defense needs to step it up a little bit. 44 points is a lot, obviously. But that's it for my recaps. On to major performances. And I know last week I had 10. This week I think I have 12 with 2 honorable mentions. We'll start Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty had 23 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 catches for 49 yards, and Boise State to win. Emmanuel Michel, 33 carries, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the win for Air Force. Xavier Legette didn't touch on the South Carolina game. We beat Mississippi State, had 5 catches, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and the win for South Carolina. LeDeatrick Griffin, 7 catches, 256 yards, and a touchdown, and the loss for Mississippi State. Penny Boone, 24 carries, 211 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and for Toledo, and the win against who did Toledo play? I forgot. Give me 1 second. I forgot who Toledo played. I wanted to say Western Michigan. I think it was Western Michigan. I'm pretty sure Toledo just played Western Michigan. Yeah, so, yep. Got the win against Western Michigan. Troy Franklin, 8 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the win against Colorado for Oregon. Jack Plummer, Another game I didn't touch on, but Louisville went crazy. 18 of 21, 388 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown for 6 total touchdowns. And Louisville's win over Boston College. Kobe Bryant, forced fumble recovery, touchdown, and a pick. And Kansas win. Oh, let me throw in the 3 tackles. And the win for Kansas over BYU. Cam Ward, 28 of 34, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns. And the win versus Oregon State for Washington State. Kyle Williams, 7 catches, 174 yards, and a touchdown for Washington State. And the win against Oregon State. Josh Kelly, 8 catches, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the win for Washington State over Oregon State. DJ Giddens, 30 carries, 207 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 catches for 86 yards, and the K-State win over UCF. And Marcus, these are my 2 honorable mentions. Marcus Carroll, Georgia State, 29 carries, 150 yards, a touchdown, 2 catches for 36 yards, and the win over Coastal Carolina. And Mikey King, 24 of 31, 325 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And Fresno State's blowout win over Kent State. And I'll just say this. Say it in our chats. Become a member to join our chats. Fresno State will win the Mountain West Conference. I'm that high on Fresno State this year. They're going to win the Mountain West. Book it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I'm not above that. But right now, in my opinion, Fresno State will win the Mountain West. But that is all I have for y'all today for CTC. If you've been rocking with me for the whole episode, I appreciate you. Even if you came to tune in, I appreciate that. I know it's been a long episode. I know y'all can't wait to get y'all NFL Sunday fix on. I can't either. We have 20, 25 minutes to kick off. Because again, y'all know it's never on time. So I'm ready to watch this Ravens football. I know y'all ready to watch y'all teams play this Sunday. I will be live again this coming Wednesday between 8 or 9, whatever my job allows, to get ready for this Week 5 preview. And as y'all know, man, y'all take care. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. And I'm out of here. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.